NSE close?
The NSE ASI closed them lower today, though I don't have the official figures from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. But likely a lot of the banks were still under pressure. Just very few banks gained today. The likes of Access, Diamond, PHB, Fidelity, and FCMB gained today, but most of the other banks were under pressure today. And obviously following suit, a lot of other non-financials also declined today. Overall, it's still the same trend we had yesterday as the market continued to suffer based on the anxiety over the outcome of the CBN audit, and whether a lot of banks might still warrant the sort of decision that the CBN had on the first 5 banks that had problems in the past. On a positive note, however, the value traded increased today as to about 3.45 billion. That's about 16% higher than the level we had yesterday. And obviously, a lot of investors, value investors, still understand that there's a lot of bargains in the market right now, even at this level where investor pessimism is at the peak. So really, we saw a lot of buying activity in today's trading, and a lot of people are taking positions ahead of the CBN verdict, which we believe will mark a turning point in the direction of the market, really.
So who are the big losers on the market today?
Well, the banking sector really likely drove the market lower, basically as a result of their heavy weight in the overall market capitalization. And the banking sector accounts for about 50% of total market capitalization, and obviously significant declines from a lot of heavyweights in that sector drove the market lower. And that's why we had, and that's the same trend we had from yesterday anyway. And obviously that was the reason why the market declined today.
And what are the expectations now looking ahead to the rest of the week?
Well, I think this week is going to be interesting for the market, because the CBN governor promised that the audit of the second set of banks, which is the next 11, will be out in the mid-September, which is any time from now. Is also that, the governor would also be visiting the exchange to brief market operators on his findings and what is happening in the developments in the banking sector. And I think that's really going to be significant information in the market this week, and will obviously determine the direction of the market. I would say we'll still see a bit of decline in the market this week ahead of that, because a lot of investors are still jittery, and bargain hunters, especially the institutional investors, are going to take up those gains at a lower price, and that's why I have the conviction that prices are still going to trend lower. But I think what the CBN is doing right now is positive for the long term, and I think we're gradually getting closer to a bottoming phase for the market, and obviously after that you expect a sharp recovery in the market. So largely throughout the rest of the week, I don't expect anything very positive for the market, and I still see the market closing lower week on week this week.
And you say that the governor is going to visit the stock exchange there. What do you think he's likely to hear from some of the traders on the floor when he gets down there?
Really, the governor is going to visit the exchange, and the basic reason for doing that is just to tell the market what's been happening in the banking sector, why they've done what they've done, and basically to calm fears that a lot of investors have had about the banking sector lightly. And I think that's going to address a lot of concerns, or probably on the other hand throw a bit more problem and caution to investors. But largely I think it's a welcome development for us to know what's going on, for a lot of the uncertainty affecting or plaguing the sector to really be calmed down. So I think ahead of that, a lot of investors are selling down because they're probably expecting the negative news from that sector, and everyone is really speculating what's going to come out from the CBN this time around, and no one really wants to be caught in those banking shares that will probably warrant that sort of measures that we had for the first 5 banks. So largely coming to calm investors fear, I think will be positive for the market in the medium term.
And finally, very, very briefly, how's the Naira looking this week?
The Naira is slightly stable this week. The last auction is slightly appreciated. And basically, the CBN has really, stood its ground to develop and to defend the naira. This week we've had about $258 million really, being sold by the CBN, really defending the huge, demand we have from market operators in the forex market. So largely, I think it's stable, and I think the CBN is committed to continue defending the naira at this rate. So I expect it to remain stable for the rest of the week.